I'm going to try something new. So this is an idea that I came up with over the weekend. I was sick all last week and barely able to work, and so I had a lot of time to think. And one of the things I was thinking about is that I need to find a way to put myself out there a little bit more often. The problem is that I'm not always working on stuff that I think is worth putting out there. Like, it's not very exciting, and I don't know how much interest there is in what I'm doing. So I guess this is I'm just going to let you in on what's happening kind of on a daily basis and see if I can keep this going for a little while. So my idea was, like, maybe I'll come in the morning in the shop and kind of tell you where I'm at, what I'm thinking, and what I want to get done for the day. And then maybe I'll do a recap afterwards. See if I can put those two together with as little editing as possible and just post that and see if that kind of helps drive things and give me an idea of where to head. Because I'm not really sure what people want to see and what they don't want to see. I mean, I know they want to see cute little automaton and stuff like that, but it's not like I can crank one of those out every day or every week or even every month sometimes. So this is an attempt to do something a little different. And I'm sorry, I have a hard time looking at the camera while I'm talking. I'm one of those people who stares off a different direction when I think. So I apologize for not talking to the camera. That's just the way I am. So this morning I came in. I've been sick and I'm finally feeling better, more normal this week. So I need to get back in the shop. The problem is I'm having a real hard time, like, deciding. Maybe not deciding is the wrong word. I'm having a hard time getting back into the rhythm and back into the momentum of being at the shop. It was already kind of messed up as I was getting sick. And so let me catch up on where I am and what I'm thinking of doing today, and we'll see where I get with it by the end of the day. I don't want to do anything. It's terrible, but I just want to sit at the computer and kind of just scroll and waste time. But it just makes me feel like crap. So I'm not going to do that. My son Eric came by and helped me get a lot of these nests sanded up. I think he did pretty much all of them at this point. And then I glued them onto the bases. These are the little bird automata that I make. They sell pretty good, and I'm having trouble keeping them in stock. So I figured if I just did 100 of them at once, that would last me a few months, maybe even all year. I'm not really sure. I have to go look at how many I sold last year. I think I sold a couple hundred, but this will at least get me good for a little while. So this morning I'm thinking I want to keep moving on these. They need a lot of sanding still, and then I can put some oil on them. And I have 100 or so of these little wood beads that I have to drill holes in, and it's kind of a little sketchy and terrifying to hold on to this while I drill it with a 1/4-inch bit. So I'm putting that off until I can figure out a better way to do it, or if I can get up the courage to do it. I've been 3D printing more of my stuff. I'm working on a class that I want to put together that eventually I'm hoping to turn into a membership or a club or something. But I'm making these little prototyping boards, and I've been 3D printing all these little white pieces on here that just don't work out of much of anything else. So I'm not a big fan of plastic stuff, but there are certain instances where it's just so much better. And it's kind of, in this case, I'm trying to do something similar to what Lego does, or Technique or something like that. So I'm gonna have to make some parts. So I did my test prints and got my printer all moved over, and right now it's printing a chute that will, when I change colors on the plastic, it has to eject a little bit of the old plastic to change colors, and all that garbage currently goes out the back of the printer into a cup. And so I found a little 3D printable, I guess it's not little, I found a 3D printable chute that you can put on the back of the printer that'll actually make all of that waste material go into something that's easier to dump, something that's easier to collect. I would love to find a way to recycle all that, so I'm saving it all right now. But and in the last month and a half, I've made like this much in a like one of those solo cups. So it's not a lot, but it is going to be a hassle at some point, especially as I'm printing more and more. So I'm working on that. I want to get those sanded, and honestly, this morning I woke up at like 4:30 and I was thinking about what was bothering me the most. And part of what's bothering me a lot right now is last year I made this this whole big long board. These are the only ones that are left that weren't finished. And these are like things that I had that I wanted or wished that I could do. And then things that were on my mind that I was having trouble figuring out how to integrate into, or whether I really wanted to do it or not. It was just one of those things of like, get it out of my head and get it out somewhere. So at some point I would like to go through these 2 sheets and see if everything is still relevant. Like, I just like to go through it and kind of go, is this still interesting to me, or is it kind of like, was it just a one-time thing? Anyway, I would like to do that. I don't know if I'll get to that today, but if I could, that'd be great. Becky has an eye doctor appointment at like 2:15 today or so. So my day is going to be shorter than normal because she can't drive. She can only see out of one eye. And so I'm going to take her to that. And I doubt that I'll come back to the shop after that. I'll try to record again just before we head out the door for that doctor's appointment. But that's kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do for today. I'll try to get into more of the other projects that I'm going to do after I've done that sticky board, and maybe I'll do that on the camera too. I don't know, but that's what I'm going to do today. We'll see how this goes. Well, I'm running out of time. I have about 45 minutes. Oh, that clock's not even right. It's 1:26. Okay, so I have about half an hour or so before I have to get ready to go. So I thought I'd catch up here. So I ended up getting all of these bases. I ground one of the sides flat and I cut the notch in the back for the tail, and I got started on the heads, but I only got about, I don't know, maybe a dozen done out of the 100 that I have to get done. Partially because I had trouble with my jig trying to get it to work. I had to get everything set up for it, so I didn't make as much progress on that as I wanted to, but I did get the bases done and I got all the holes drilled, which is something I was worried about. My 3D print job finished, I don't know, an hour and a half ago. I don't know how it turned out. We'll see. It looks like it turned out okay. I did not get to my list of post-its. That's basically what I got done today. I'll do this again tomorrow and we'll see how it goes.